Okay, folks, finally getting around to doing my window trim. After this room has been about 99% done for a long time, I'm coming back and doing a couple finished carpentry things. Now, one thing is my windowsill is not 100% square due to the drywall mud and the corner beads. So I do have a small gap right here. Not a problem at all. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that in with some caulking and it's gonna be a-okay. I went a little bit long on my jigsaw cut right here. It's not deep, so I'll use a little white spackling to finish that off. And what I did is I literally just measured from here over to my other side, which was 93 5/8. And then these right here, this is just MDF from Lowe's. I believe this is 5/8 of an inch. It's a little thicker than my baseboards here. I think this is 9/16. I think this is 5/8, so it's nice and thick for a windowsill. And then I did about 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit over 1.5 inches. That line right there is about 1.5 inches. So that's about 1/4 inch over 1.5 inches for the sides here. So what you do is you have this is your windowsill, which pushes all the way against your window here, and then you lip over onto the wall. And then of course I'll put my bottom trim piece, which won't go to the end. It's gonna match up right here with my windowsill, and then it's gonna go all the way over. I'll get you the dimensions on that when I do finish that up. And so we're looking good. There's a little bit of a gap in the back on this side here. So what I potentially could do, this is looking really good, and then a slight little gap right here. Just fill that in with some caulking right there. If it's a little bit more right back here, I could trim that down a little bit more actually to kind of meet that line, and that would push that back a little bit more. So I think I'm going to do that. Cut that down about 1/8 of an inch, fill that back gap in a little bit more, and that won't teeter-totter because it's just kind of the shape of the window and how the window sits. If that doesn't bother you, then just go ahead and just use some caulking, but I may or may not do that. Caulking is going to do that just fine, to be honest with you. Okay, so now that that is fitted in, I'm either going to take care of that issue or not, and then we're going to go ahead and wipe these off and go ahead and put 2 coats of paint. This is just pre-primed MDF, and I bought them in 5.25 inch, but again, I table sawed them down to 5 inches, and by table sawing them down, you're not going to get this little round little edge here on the back side as well. You're going to get a nice flat edge. So again, I table sawed them down 1/4 inch off of them, and I love the MDF because it is a little flexible, especially with the baseboards if you're not 100% true and square. And also what I'm going to do, because I don't want white caulking going up on my black window, I'm actually going to be using interior black caulking, which is paintable. And then I could always, if it goes over on the white, I'll just touch up the white, or, vice versa. It doesn't really matter, I guess. You could always just touch up a little bit. If the white gets on the black windowsill, you could touch that up with black paint. Totally up to you, whatever way you want to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back to the build, but I do want to thank today's sponsor, which is Manscaped. They are obviously most known for their Lawnmower 4.0 Pro, 3.0 Plus, and Manscaped's 5.0 Ultra trimmers, as well as their boxers. And of course, their beard hedger as well, which I use all the time, especially clean myself up before church or before going out for a dinner, or when I'm just looking scruffy. Now, great news, Manscaped is hooking you guys up with no matter what you order for 20% off and free shipping. That's going to be top link in the description box below this video. That direct link will lead you over to their website. That discount will automatically be applied to whatever you order. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at one of their accessories. This is the Shears 3.0 nail trimming kit. As we open this up, they have a lot of really cool accessories, like a really cool straight razor, the Plow 2.0. So check that out. All right, we got a nice little case right here. That's going to look nice on your vanity as well in your bathroom. Let's go ahead and open this up and take a little look. Beautiful. They are coming out with some great accessories and products. I like the blacked out nail clippers. You got nail and you got toenail. You got a file right here. You got some scissors for those cuticles. You guys know what I'm talking about. And then we have some tweezers right here. Let's take a look with a little safety plastic over the edges. in a very cool looking blacked out matte black look to them here. Of course, this can be for your ladies as well. But again, matte black. We got little scissors, again, for the cuticles. Again, a little file there if you want to get super detailed. And beautiful toenail clippers here. Got a nice little traction to it there, as well as the fingernail. And I just showed you the toenail clipper there. You can use either one, doesn't matter. When you get the Shears 3.0, you can do whatever you want. Again, super cool case that can fit in your overnight bag, your vanity bag for traveling. That's a great accessory. And once again, this is the Plow 2.0 straight shaver. Highly recommended as well. They've been making some excellent products. Again, top link in the description box below will be the direct link for 20% off and free shipping on no matter what you order, the accessories or their trimmers. I highly recommend their beard trimmer. I use that all the time for trimming my beard, as well as their other trimmers. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Top link in the description box below. Grab your discount. Now, let's get back to the build. Okay, so I got my little setup here inside the kitchen. I still need to fully remodel it here. Let me go ahead and let in my puppy. We've wiped him down. We're gonna go ahead and roll him in here. It's not too cold. Little thermometer right there says 42 degrees. But we'll go ahead and just roll them inside the house here. It's non-toxic. And so I'm going to do 2 coats because none of them are painted right now. It's just primer again, and they come like this from the store. The bottom trim piece underneath my windowsill trim, this is going to be 2.5 inches right here. This is about 2.25, and it's a little too small. That's going to be for the inside of my master bath, but for the outside, I'm going to go with a little thicker. I like the 2.5. I like it a little bit thicker. But for the inside, no one's really going to pay attention to the inside of it. And that's, again, going to be for the inside door trim. Typically, I would just spray these down with my spray gun, but unfortunately, my spray gun broke. So I need to go to the shop and see if I have another one in the shop. And just spray gunning it is just super simple, nice and clean. You get all the edges. But anyway, this does work. We'll again do 2 coats of the color Simply White. I'm not using Benjamin Moore paint. I'm going to actually be using, now this is not the paint I will be using. I poured the paint inside a can, but it was like the top of the line. This is Valspar, but this is again not the one. I just re-poured it into this can because I messed up the lid. This is Satin, and Lowe's matched the color Simply White by Benjamin Moore, but it's not Benjamin Moore paint. So you can go into Lowe's. If you need it right here, there's the number of it right over here, Simply White, and they'll just go ahead and blend it for free of charge. Of course, you have to buy your paint from them, which I did. And then we'll go ahead and brand nail it on. Now the bottom trim piece will again have both edges curved. It will not be table sawed straight edge like this here, but that doesn't matter. This will be hidden underneath the ledge, and you'll see this nice little curvature on the bottom. What's the matter? There's nothing there. What's the matter? So over here, again, a nice clean edge. Now something to keep in mind here as well, if you're not really going to be going on the floor, sometimes I do sit-ups and push-ups, and if I'm on the floor looking up, it's going to bug you if you have some brown showing. So I'm just literally going to roll just like an inch in like this here, 2 coats as well, just to keep things frosty. Alrighty, folks, back at it again here. It's looking absolutely stunning. Go ahead and back that up here. We'll get some better shots of it here in just a little bit when it's completed. But again, we have a little bit of a lip, not much, maybe like a 1/2 inch or so. And then we have 2.5 inches right here. And then again, 5 inches right here, brad nailed in with 2-inch brad nails. Make sure they're driven down enough, because right now we're using lightweight spackle. Go ahead and cover up those holes, and then we'll take a little dollop of paint and repaint that little dollop, and it'll be good to go. I'm using my Ryobi brushless brad nailer right here. Works great. I'll have it linked in the description box below, as well as this spackle. Doesn't have to be this spackle. You can also use the pink stuff that you use on drywall too. This is just lightweight, quick spackle. Paint ready in 30 minutes. Dries white. And as you can see here, there's my nail holes, and then I'll just put a little dollop with a little small art paint brush to fill that in. I'm going to do the same thing with that right there. And of course, all of my nails here. For some oddball reason, if your brad nailer didn't put it down enough, then grab yourself a hammer and a little nail punch it down just a little bit more so you could fill it in. Worst case scenario, if you don't really want to do that and don't want to deal with the spackle, then just get an artist's paintbrush, dip it in a little cup with your paint, and put a little dollop on there, and you'll be good to go. Note to self, clean your windows more often. Good night. It's a daytime difference. Tell you what.
So just make sure you finish up with your caulking around the edges if you did have a little bit of gap against your drywall edges like I did, like I showed you earlier. Finish it up with a little dollop of paint, and it turned out absolutely fantastic. I'm very impressed with the MDF. It has held up great over the last year, and I hope you have enjoyed. If you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button on your way out, it helps the channel. Also subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Take a look in the top link in the description box below. Have a great day.